Ukraine's president is appealing for faster delivery of U.S. weapons as Russian forces make gains on the battlefield. Last week, the U.S. Congress approved a new aid package of $61 billion for Ukraine. Let's get more on this with John Holman, who's in Kyiv for us. The head of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, was in the Ukrainian capital today. What was discussed exactly, John?
Yeah, it was a surprise visit from the chief of NATO. And as you said, President Zelenskyy really used the opportunity to say, well, now we've been promised weapons, especially in a $61 billion military aid package from the United States. Those need to arrive as quickly as possible. He said some of those weapons had started to arrive in the country, but he also noted that this was a point when Russian forces could really use this window when they're out shelling Ukrainian forces and outstripping them in air power as well to attack as much as they could. We found out just yesterday from a statement from the Ukrainian head of the armed forces that 3 villages in the southeast of the country, Ukrainian forces had to retreat from them and Russian forces were attacking along that front line. He was concerned about that. The head of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, was keen to try and reassure, to say that we as allies are with you, to say that eventually Ukraine's place is in NATO, although few onlookers expect that to happen until after this conflict, depending on how it turns out. He also mentioned, interestingly, the idea that there would be a multi-year financial assistance agreed for Ukraine. So it wouldn't be dependent on every time a new aid package being agreed. That depends on a lot of different factors, though, within the NATO alliance.
And John, on a separate development, I should say, protesting farmers in Poland have called off a months-long demonstration at border crossings between Poland and Ukraine. Remind us what that protest was about and why it's now ended.
Yeah, that protest has been going on for some months now, and Polish farmer groups and also Polish trucker groups were annoyed. The farmers, because they said that they believed that Ukrainian grain was coming into their country, and because some of it was staying there, was depressing the prices of their own products, because Ukrainian grain was cheaper among other agricultural products. Polish trucking groups, some of them, were saying that they were angry because Ukrainian truckers crossing the border into Poland were exempt from a permit. What the Polish government did earlier this month is to announce subsidies for Polish farmers, particularly in terms of grain, of more than $500 million. And that seems to have helped this process now. The Ukrainian border service has also said that there'll be restrictions on Ukrainian truckers going through. They won't be able to stay in Poland. They'll have to treat it as a country purely of transit. So for now, that seems to have resolved this problem, and we'll have to wait to see if it's enough to stop protests erupting again in the future.
John Holman in Kyiv, thank you very much.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.